We are a national organisation that represents all sectors within the industry, in venues, hotels, event organisers, IT companies, exhibition suppliers, right across Australia. We have over 550 members across Australia. We offer programs such as mostly around education and professional development. We have a mentor program as well as networking events that we run throughout the year. The challenges that we've had with COVID-19 have been enormous. We have lost about 96% of the events all for 2020, and we've also, back in March, we did a survey of the industry which indicated there was about 92,000 jobs actually lost within the sector. So it's had a massive impact on our membership. Meetings Events Australia has had a very long relationship with EventsAIR, and I personally have used it for many years and have found it to be always ahead of the game as far as IT in the event sector. We had to look at what we're going to do with our annual conference, which was Evolve 2020, which was scheduled for May in the Hunter Valley. So we felt that we needed to take the event into a virtual environment, into a virtual platform. We were delighted when EventsAIR had launched their OnAIR platform, and to be able to use an Australian company, but also keeping that within the EventsAIR family was just fantastic, and the flexibility of the platform was fantastic and really suited our needs. The program we put together was actually quite ambitious, and I think we actually tested the platform to its maximum capabilities, as far as running a lot of concurrent sessions, networking sessions, an exhibition platform, wellness sessions, etc. I think the important thing in all of this was communication between everyone involved, and EventsAIR and the OnAIR platform were extremely integral part of all of that. You know, having your team involved in that and working with the other stakeholders in the delivery of the event was extremely important, and that everyone was on the same page with the same messaging. So I was actually a delegate in this particular case. I had a task force that led the development and the rollout of this event. So I was in that fantastic position to be able to be objective about how the event was perceived. And I have to say, I was blown away by the flexibility of what the platform offered. I think that my favourite part of the event was around the flexibility, I think, and of the offering. The easiness to be able to navigate around what was on at a particular time. We had a very good MC who was very important to be able to direct people and guide people through the day and through the experience. It really covered all the facets of a normal conference in a virtual environment. And I felt extremely connected. One of my favourite pieces was the networking session at the end. I loved that. I loved the idea of being connected with all the other delegates that were on that day and to share their feedback on how it was for them and what were the best bits from the conference that they experienced. It was unanimous. I mean, I did not hear anyone complain about any of the content or the delivery. It was an outstanding event. And I still get feedback now. Here we are nearly a week later, and I'm still getting emails from people saying how fantastic the event was. I wouldn't hesitate to recommend organisers using the virtual platforms for their events, even now through this difficult time, but even in the future when, obviously there are times when it's difficult to bring everyone from around the world together and costly. I think hybrids events, from this whole situation with COVID-19, I actually think hybrids will become the norm across the world, and we don't know when the international borders are going to open, so I actually think this sort of platform for delivery of events is going to be a critical part in keeping the world and the industries connected.
We really put together a program that was going to be quite challenging. We had 3 concurrent live streams running at any point in time. We had e-poster sessions running. We had the sponsors that we needed to deliver outcomes to. So there was a lot going on, and before we made the decision with OnAIR, we had to make sure that we could facilitate all that. And I'm so grateful and happy to say that we could with OnAIR. And so some of those features, the e-poster sessions, invaluable for sponsors to be able to deliver their messages. We also had the virtual exhibition, which we had a bit of fun with, and people really did jump into that, which was great to see. We utilised the virtual MC, we utilised the concurrent sessions, and we also obviously utilised the mainstream plenary sessions that we could do. The virtual networking, also at the end of the conference, there was the ability to be able to interact in that platform. So we could have the networking in there in the meeting hub where people could go in and meet one-on-one. You were able to jump into that virtual exhibition. You were able to jump into your sessions. So there was lots of different interaction that really made it feel like you were coming to a conference, which I found extremely valuable, and that's something that we really wanted to showcase and deliver as part of our events. So the OnAIR experience for me, being the first time that I used it, I found it really valuable because it did create that first impression, that live event experience. So you're not just jumping onto another webinar, you're not just jumping into another speaker's presentation. You really did jump into like a conference foyer. So when you're live in a face-to-face event, the first thing that you really experience is that foyer where you're mingling with people, and then you're going into those speaker sessions, whether they be the concurrent or the mainstreams. And I think using EventsAIR really brought that to life, that it was a conference, it was an event, it wasn't just another webinar that someone was jumping onto. I think as being our platinum partner, I couldn't have asked for a better support network and team around me. I had never used OnAIR before, and the staff that were a part of our task force and a part of our online our Go Live team were absolutely amazing. No question was ever too hard, and obviously I did ask a lot of questions so that I could make sure we delivered what we needed to the audience and to our sponsors. I think the virtual MC really was great to be able to facilitate those in-between session discussions and I guess a little bit of banter in a way to make it a bit of fun and exciting and give the conference a bit of life. What I found was great was people were really open to using all the different things and that they were playing with it. They were going into the meeting hub, and I got quite a number of messages throughout the day from different people asking how I was finding the conference. So, and that was out without me even prompting. So I think that's great to see that people are open to just jumping in and having a play around within it. So we excitingly had over 550 people registered to attend the event. Our target was 500, so we well achieved that target, which was great. The feedback that we received was really positive. I think people really enjoyed the momentum of the day within the platform. They all actually just liked experiencing what an online conference would be like. Most of the industry, or I would say probably 70 to 80%, has not experienced an online conference in a platform like this. So for them, that was just a learning in themselves and to what they can take away and utilize in their business and how they can pitch this to their clients and start to really kind of take this to a new level in their own way. So I think that was a great experience for people. It's never going to replace face-to-face, we know that, but being able to at least continue to move forward and create these hybrid experiences where you will be able to have that interaction, both whether it be in studio, in person, as well as that virtual space.